What's up, Teen Talk fam? It is your host, B. Shaw. I am here with
Your boy DJ Daddy in the building.
Your boy DJ.
It's your boy, The Juice.
It's Donnie in the building.
Miss KK.
And Deshaun B.
Yes, thank you all for tuning into our show. We have a very special guest on the show today. Joining us now is the president of the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. We invited him to speak with us about the importance of mentorship in our community. Before we dive in to this topic, let's give Gentry Richardson a warm welcome to the Teen Talk show. First, I wanted to ask the teens, when you hear the word mentorship, what does that mean to you? So let's start off with DJ. When you hear the word mentorship, what does that mean to you?
I feel like when you hear the word mentorship, it's somebody who wants to help you build yourself, somebody who believes in what you're doing with yourself, and somebody who can also help you in the long run. I feel like every teen or every person who has something going for themselves should definitely have a mentor on their side and on their team.
Yes, that's a very important part of a mentorship. It's actually for the mentor to believe in you. So I'm gonna go with Deshaun next. What does mentorship mean to you?
Mentorship definitely means just being able to be nurtured and groomed. I feel like with a mentor, they should be able to shape you to be the person that you're destined to be, because they're the ones who see the potential in you before you see it in yourself. So just how everything is and how everything should be going, I should be able to entrust in my mentor and definitely feel like I'm able to grow and expand.
I love that answer. The word nurture is perfect for the word mentor. So good job on that. Mr. Gentry, what does mentorship mean to you?
Well, mentorship to me means a relationship, and Deshaun hit it well as far as nurturing. I mean, the word mentor really came from Homer's The Odyssey. So when Ulysses left, the person he left to care for his son and develop and nurture his son, his name was Mentor. And so he ended up mentoring a lot longer than he expected. But the whole thing about mentoring is to mentor longer than expected, as long as possible, and establish that relationship. So mentoring is, like you said, nurturing, providing resources, and really helping you to achieve in a, I would say, in a non-bossy way, you know, where you're comfortable with that person, where you can confide in that person, and that person helps you grow. I've had many mentors in my life, and the thing that's interesting is, if you're living, you're going to still have mentors, because it could be your pastor, it could be the person, your significant other. It could be any of those people that provide things that help provide the support to help you be better and to nurture you to help you meet your objectives.
Yes, that is a very good answer. And following up what you said about mentorships and these long relationships, can you tell us a little bit more about the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas organization?
Sure. Our one of our mottos is mentoring is what you see is what they'll be. But the other key thing is mentoring across a lifetime. So what we want to do is provide the types of programs and support that will help develop starting at third grade all the way through college and beyond. So we're implementing those types of programs because we want to make changes that when I look at you guys, I don't just see you, I see your children, your grandchildren, and so forth, because we want to make generational changes. We want to provide the types of things to you that will help you be better parents, uncles, aunties, whatever, and carry on. And we wanted to just be a part of what you become that helps you advance and help your family advance, because that's what generational change is about. We stand on shoulders. I stand on a lot of shoulders. And then as 100 Black Men and what we provide, we want you to be able to stand on some shoulders, additional shoulders too. So we look at it as a long-term relationship and something that can provide you through your lifetime. So when we're providing support and scholarship, we're not doing it just for that year. We want to do it and provide you scholarships through your experience, internships, resources, all those kinds of things, and even establish relationships with other people your ages in different parts of the country. So you have that partnership throughout too.
I like what you said about teaching the younger generation as just as important as teaching the older kids. That actually reminded me of a quote I heard. It went something along the lines of, it's easier to teach a kindergarten new ways than teaching an adult new ways, because you have way more of an impact on the younger generation because they haven't been through as much, versus teaching an adult. They already developed their thoughts in the world. Deshaun, what were your thoughts?
I wanted to go back on Mr. Gentry when he said he wants to bring generational change. And by you being a newly found 100 Black Man president, what are some things the community can expect from you going into 2021?
Great question. Well, the three things that I'm focusing on for us to accomplish is to be advocates for our youth, advocates for the community, and a respected voice in the community. So when we're looking at what the types of things we're going to do is we're adding programs like Crossroads, where it's developing life skills starting from 8th grade all the way into going into college. We have the Collegiate 100 that provides scholarships and supporting in from that aspect. We have Pathway to Public Services that will give you options as far as where you want to go in your life. We look at there's different pathways that you can take. You can go to college, and that's good, but there's other options. College may not be for everybody, right? You may want to go into the military, and military helped us as Black people get to the middle class and brought a lot of skill sets and experience into our people, right? So there's the military opportunity. You may decide you want to be an entrepreneur or go into a trade. So we work to establish that supporting path. And then the other thing you may decide is that you want to go into public service. You may want to become a policeman or a fireman or a 911 operator or or an EMT. So we're building pathways for you to help you determine. You make the decisions because you are the decisions you make, but we want to provide the support and things for you to take those paths. So those are the kinds of things you're going to see from us. You're going to see a lot of activities and programs that covers a wide range of needs and a big presence in the community.
Yes, there are so many different options. There's definitely not just one path to success. So it's very important that we inform everybody of their options so they can live a healthy life and get to where they want to go. I was going to ask your opinion. Do you feel to be a mentor, you have to be successful?
I feel that that's a great question. I feel that you have to be grounded and knowledgeable. You have to know who you are. I'm not into titles. So I look at it as when we're walking to a meeting, yes, you're a doctor, you're a military officer, you have these different successes, and those things are all good. But what's most important to me is your ability to contribute to the organization and develop youth. It's like you can be. I put it this way: Michael Jordan's one of the greatest basketball players ever, but he couldn't coach. Okay, so it's and Magic Johnson had the same problem. It's not a problem; it's just what it is, right? Great basketball player, he couldn't coach. So it's not just about the success, but what your ability is to communicate and develop another person.
Yes, I really like how you mentioned how the basketball players, they're really good themselves, but it's a whole different ballgame to actually coach, because you have to be able to relate to the mentee that you're mentoring. And it's very important that you can relate to them emotionally. And yeah, DJ, what were your thoughts on that?
So kind of going back off of like how you were commenting on the statement he made about the basketball players and how you just said, being able to relate to them and really try to put yourself in those shoes. So Mr. Gentry, my question for you is, how are you able to put yourself into a young person's shoes and find a way to relate to them and really be able to be a great support personally? Because sometimes it may not be just being able to find a mentor, it's finding that person to really connect with.
I think it's important to remember where you came from, the experiences that in my example, for me, the experiences I had growing up and not be a hypocrite. So it's one of I look at it as use those experiences to relate versus forgetting those experiences and condemning when you did some of the same things. Uh, I'll tell you this: some of the things, there's nothing that's changed over the thousands of years that we've been on the earth, really. It's just evolved in different ways, right? So when you walk in and you say, these kids today are different and they don't get it, it's like those same things were being said about us. So we have to remember that and then use our experiences to help relate and help you grow. So that's what I mean. I've grown, I came up and I've had a lot of mentors. I've had good experiences, bad experiences. I came up in urban areas in Chicago and went through a lot of things, and we succeeded, we fought, we persevered, and being able to do those things and get to a certain point and have the experiences and being fed by so many different people, then you take that and you want to give that back. It's like Muhammad Ali says, the service that you do is the rent that you pay for being on this room on earth. And that's really what it is. I mean, so we pay the rent for being here on earth, and that's through service.
I really, really like that answer. It was very quality and it reached me. Day, what were your thoughts?
Yes, sir. Mr. Gentry, I wanted to ask you, what advice can you give to some of our youth that are actually pursuing our goals or that are in college and have stuff going for ourselves right now and, just have a plan for ourselves? What advice, from your experience of living, what advice can you get to some of our youth?
My advice would be don't give up and believe in yourself, and God makes no mistakes. So, when you have that, we have a program that's called Dreamers. And we just gave a 12-year-old that's into animation. And we said, okay, we went to DreamWorks, we got software and devices. We said, we're gonna give you this to help you with your dream as far as advancing in what you want to do in animation. We had somebody that's into production, and we're saying, okay, we're doing a production project. We're going to have you come so you can observe and be involved in it. And it's about doing those things to help you build your confidence up and believe in yourself and give those experiences. So don't give up on your dreams. And if there's anybody that's trying to take that dream away from you, those are the people you don't want to be around, because surround yourself that will support your dreams and reinforce what's inside of you. Because if they don't do that, there's always people that want to tell you what you're not going to do. I'm going to give you one example. When I graduated from college, and I was transitioning. I was going to go into med school, but I needed to get a job because my folks didn't have any money. I was going to get a job, and one of the jobs these guys I went to, they said, even with my degrees and everything I had going on for me, it was a planners, and they wanted to give me a job that involved counting peanuts, literally counting peanuts. And I knew I needed a job, but I knew I wasn't going to do that. I was like, you're not stepping on my dream like that. And it was about believing in myself. And think about that. As you're progressing and your dreams are coming along, there's going to be somebody that wants you to stop and count peanuts, and don't let them do it.
Great advice. Thank you so much for that.
KK, how did you feel about that?
I think that's a great sentiment for everybody to hold. A lot of times people will try to make you feel less than you are or try to lower you to their standards. So I think that's a very good sentiment to hold when you are seeking success. But I also had a question for Mr. Gentry about mentorship. And I know that you guys, the 100 Black Men, have been around for a long time. So how important is it for mentors to also evolve over time? Because I know that a lot of times there can be a gap between millennials and baby boomers and that whole generational gap. So how has 100 Black Men kind of evolved in that sense of their mentorship and how they do find these mentees and how they find new ways to teach them?
Well, we're finding the first thing we have to do, and this is a national objective, is within our organization, we have to have a youth movement. We need a wide range of mentors and ages, so that we can ensure that our mentors are current and that they can relate with the mentees. So, and then the other thing we got to understand is, in mentoring, there's everything's not a good fit. So some of you may be able to relate with me, but others may not be able to relate with me, and that's okay. So from a mentoring perspective, this is not for us to force ourselves on somebody, but to find a good fit. And other programs I developed, for instance, I was involved in developing in LA, the mentees picked the mentors, not the other way around. Now I'll tell you, there were some mentors that were standing there like upset and crying because they didn't get picked, but it's very important that that relationship is there. So that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that when we have mentees, that commitment is important, okay? Because commitment takes work. It's real easy not to do something. So we want somebody that wants it. We want mentees that want our help and not need our help. Because if you understand wants and needs, there's a lot of people that you say they need to change. You may have friends right now that need to change, but that doesn't matter, because that change doesn't happen until they want to. And you can put a lot of your energy into people that need to do something, but it's better to put your energy into the people that want. So right. we want mentees that want to make the change, and then we want to provide a wide range of mentors that you can relate with.
So you can't help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves, in other words.
Absolutely not.
Right.
We're not going to invest in that. We're not going to invest our time and resources in somebody that does not want to make change. You know, and you think about it, families all across the board. And I learned this from one of my pastors. He straight up said, I'm not here to help people that need my help. I want to work with people that want my help.
I like what you said about the concept of wanting and need, because it starts with wanting. And speaking of wanting, where can our people find out more about the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas?
Info at 100blackmenlasvegas.org. And we will respond, and we're there for you. Believe me, and some of you know that we are there for you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gentry. We really enjoyed everything you said today. I definitely learned a lot, and our audience learned a lot. That's all we have time for today. Thank you all for tuning into our Teen Talk. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881 and check us out at teentalkvegas.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well.